Coming to see.
Me and
Gotta
my
make
shadow.
sure that this is going to be. You're bringing us in today. So. Sorry, it's taking a moment. It's redirecting. I want to make.
See.
Oh no! See, this is not what I want. It's at the wrong. You're bringing us in today. So. Sorry, that is at the Tony Soto Show page. That is not what I want it to be. Sorry, honey.
Okay.
To see. Gotta make sure that this is going to be. Is that working now? You're bringing us in today. I think it's working now.
I'm hearing it in my.
No, I don't want to pause it.
We're live on YouTube.
We are. I want to mute it. That's what I want to do. Are we on GPHH? That's the question. It's always the question. But yes, I think we are. I think we're officially on.
Hold on. I can go look at
on the GPHH page on the link. Oh, you want to go see yourself? Oh, I do see the lighting. Yes, I do. Look at you.
Thanks.
You're going to Florida, right? Is that what you said you're going?
Florida.
You're gross.
Yeah, we're on the GPHH page.
Good. Don't give them any of your gay money. Don't spend any money when you're there. Does it look like I have a wig cap on?
Oh my God. There's too many Tonys talking.
How do
I get out of it?
Could you imagine? What a dream. What a dream to hear so many Tonys. I was thinking about this recently. God. I'm like, I talk so much on the internet that people should be so grateful.
Okay.
I'm always there. So do you want to go ahead and go into it? Because I can, I got the timer ready. If you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so we're just going to be like, like 3, 2.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet on which we're all Ukrainians now, with your hosts, Casey Lai, Comrade Casey, and...
Hi, I'm Tony Soto. We could never, Casey, we could never.
We could never what? Fight a war?
We could never be Ukrainians. Like, the Americans are too lazy. We're too comfortable in our freedom. Actually, I just had a mini freak out because I was like, oh my God, where's my pot? And I'm like, oh no, you're not smoking weed until you do a weed review today. So, oh, great.
Oh, good.
So you're getting me clear-eyed today.
If you were on the front lines and they were like, you got to kill those people, and you'd be like, okay, I can't wait. Oh my God, where's my indica?
I mean, where's my vape pen? See,
that's one reason.
And I've been saying this on every time I can, and to anyone who will listen, I just truly do not believe that we understand freedom as we did when we took it from when we took this land from the British. That said, I'm also reading a book right now, and that was our chance, our quest for a revolution and to be free from the British really wasn't as noble as Ukraine's fight to stay a democracy.
No, on so many levels. And also, I just want to say, I don't think I've ever really heard it framed as us taking the land from the British. I feel like the land was first taken.
Oh, no, we were just murdering them senselessly. The indigenous people were never a concern. I'm sorry, I'm reading A People's History of the United States.
Oh.
Right now by Howard Zinn.
Yeah.
And that is a 36-hour book on the Audible.
Yeah.
And when it's said to you, when you're hearing it and not reading it, when you're like the indigenous people were never a concern from the moment they were found by the Spaniards. Never once. They were because the indigenous were like, hey, new people, we like this. This is interesting. Oh wait, why are you killing us? So
look at all your ships. Look at all the to-do. Look at these robes. Look at that gold. It shimmers. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We've got some cool stuff too. We should just trade it. What's that? Run for our lives. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and I look at what's happening in Ukraine, and it's like these people had war in was it the 80s? Was it the 80s or the 90s? Is when there have been a lot of things that they've had. I mean, they've had a revolution
Do you want to get? I've been actually doing a lot of Ukrainian history. So if you
Yes,
want to do it,
let me know. Let me know, because I mean, give me more reason to be really disappointed in all of their allies not like putting boots on the ground.
So I mean, like Putin's justification for this war is that Ukraine has always been a part of Russia. Like basically, it's in his mind, the Ukraine and Ukraine,
it's his
territory.
Taiwan.
Yeah, but more so, it's not even an offshoot island. It's a connected part. It's part of the brotherland. And in his justification, it only became what we know as Ukraine national zone when the Bolsheviks took over Russia and gave some leeway to make sure that they had comrades in arms all over the place by saying, well, you can have this territory, but we all have to be the same and think the same and do the same. And then Stalin murdered millions and millions and millions of Ukrainians through a famine, basically bad policy, and on purpose. He just murdered millions of people. But still, there was still, because of the Soviet Union, there was, and because of communism being an international idea and not one based on borders, there were a lot of people in Ukraine who were kind of pro-Soviets for a while. So there was some blurring of that.
Well, yeah, no, it's very mixed, and for sure, and so it's blurred, and so that's. But
then jump up into the post-Soviet world where the Soviet Union collapsed, and there were all these national movements and all of that stuff. That's when kind of Ukraine kind of started to coalesce, but it was still kind of uncertain. And there was a lot of bad oligarchs and a lot of corruption, but they, over the last 20 years, have had two revolutions.
It's no longer uncertain. It's no longer
two
uncertain.
Revolutions to kick out Soviet influence, and to have much more self-determination and much more.
They're a sovereign nation. They're a democracy. They voted in a president. So,
and despite their corruption, they do have a president who, for all intents and purposes, is the first real, in my opinion, 21st century icon of the world. Maybe Obama kind of came in, but this guy's more badass than Obama.
This guy is fighting for his country. You would never find this in an American president. Honestly, the as quickly as they're scooped off for a backfiring of an engine at a parade,
right?
The U.S. presidents are groomed to hide, to run and hide in their situation rooms for the pictures, for the media to look like they're at the helm. Right. Zelensky is on the ground. His wife, his family, still there, trying to be an inspiration, and because of that, and because of the people of Ukraine who fought so hard to be where they are now, they're taking up arms. The videos literally that you see of these old ladies just making Molotov cocktails by the fucking dozens, ready to just throw. The thing is the reason why Putin is so upset right now is because after the fall of the Soviet Union, he saw Ukraine is kind of thriving, Ukraine is kind of doing something, and it's kind of making Putin look really bad. He can't have countries touching him doing better than he is. And let's face it, the economy, Biden played this war right out, as opposed except for not actually helping with combat.
Well, he can't.
I don't understand why. I truly don't. Listen, we let Putin get as crazy mad. We let him get all these nukes. We let this all happen. And the fact that it's now okay, but the moment it touches a NATO country, then it's an issue.
Yeah.
But we're watching a country fight desperately for maintaining its goddamn country. And it's just crazy to me.
But I mean, one, we didn't let Putin get all these nukes. We let the Soviet Union get all these nukes, and the Soviet Union got all these nukes, and he just happens to have them.
Yeah. So, either way,
there's also, but so you can't. I mean, it does look bad, and it's why can we not commit troops? But
that was the thing about the State of the Union.
But all Putin wants is a provocation to allow him to do something crazier than he even does, and that would be a direct assault with our troops. The minute we start fighting Russian troops, then it becomes
Do you think Putin will
different...
take Ukraine? Do you think Putin will take it?
No, I think that he could.
Because then what?
I think the government could fall, but he would have to be able to occupy the country, and he doesn't have the ability to do that with forces. And also, the Ukrainians they don't want to be part of Russia. They refuse, and they've showed. I mean, this is the most amazing. If he had been able to storm the country, kill Zelensky, and take things over,
right,
take Kiev and all that in 2 days,
because he thought this was going to be a day, over. 2 days, 2 days at the most, and that's what he thought. Yeah.
Instead, it's clearly going to be everyone in Ukraine who is there is fighting against the fucking Russians. Even people who were pro-Russia before, they're like building Molotov cocktails. Or have you seen all of those people without even weapons standing in front of tanks?
In front of tanks who are trying to go to power plants. Yeah, no, listen.
You're not going to beat that country, so they're going to have to figure it out.
When you see something like this, and well, yeah, they need to figure it out. And then when all is said and done, the Ukraine needs to be a part of NATO. Like it just needs to be a part of NATO. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know. I think that might be the way to have a ceasefire, is to make Ukraine more neutral. I just think, I've been watching some Russian propaganda too, just to see what the other side does like think and feel. And they do, America and the West has fucked over Russia since the end of the Soviet Union. There's just no way to, we got real excited about winning, and instead of trying to be empathetic and bring them into the national world, we fucking relished in their fucking poverty for a long time, and we relish in our power and their inferiority. And now that kind of dancing. I mean, nothing's really changed. Attitude. Except for they have more ammo. Like, honestly, they're still super poor. I mean, the only way that, when the oligarchs are speaking out now, like when Putin's banks are now being like, hey, Russia ain't got no money. Russia ain't got no money. Putin's got money.
Putin's got a lot of money, and Putin's a bad man. Putin murders people. And the fact that they were gonna just that's the thing about Zelensky. He's just a comedy actor. He's not some sort of revolutionary figure who was he was doing an interesting job, but not everyone in Ukraine supported him until fucking Putin was like, I'm just gonna kill this guy and take over your country because I can. And that was unfortunately Putin, it turns out you can't do all that stuff. I do believe he was sitting in the bunker for the last year being like, you know what? This world's fucked up. I'm smarter than literally every world leader in the world. I'm not crazy like Hitler was crazy, but this is my time.
People are trying to paint that picture.
He's crazy, but he's not he doesn't have a murderous screw loose where he wants to kill everyone in the world like Hitler does. I think he has a desire to be considered one of the greatest leaders of all time, especially for Russia. And I do think that's a big part of what's happening here is he just got but bunker mentality, and
Russia
thought he was better than everyone else.
Russia's standing up, the citizens of Russia are standing up more and more. They're protesting more and more. The thing is at this point, regardless of whether or not we engage in combat, this is a narcissist who is being embarrassed very, very badly, and who fucking knows what his plan is, because he did not anticipate any of this. He thought that he was going to swoop in. And I can't look past the fact that we had 4 years of Trump who was a cuckold to fucking Putin. Yeah, and 100%. And we have no idea what when all of these sanctions are happening and all these people all this Russian money is getting cut out, I'm wondering how many people in Washington right now are fucking sweating because we might find out they have some fucking money. Yeah.
No, and I think that is true, and I think they need to fucking sweat. And I think it just goes to show you, a lot of people into the lead up to this, even on the left, were like, we just got to let Putin do what Putin's got to do. We don't have any stake in this. And we have to, it's not our battle, and we can't, there's the world
until it's on NATO land.
Is different, but that's just a matter of alliances. But the thing is what, Biden, Biden could deserve, in my mind, a lot of credit for this is, and he's not even taking the credit, but he was like, he he shored up the alliances, and Europe had
and
to
he
leave.
shared
America,
intelligence every time he had intelligence. He shared it.
Yes,
like,
but he shored up. But the like Germany, is basically leading this, right? And he got. I mean, the Swiss are cutting the Russians off from their financial.
But the mouth breathers and the flyovers aren't hearing this, because we have Tucker Carlson on Fox News who is literally saying Putin is amazing. Putin never wanted to get me fired. Like, why would I hate Putin?
He was saying that before the war started to look bad, and now all of a sudden it does. Like, they can't do the same thing. I don't know. For the first time in a long time, like the minute after like 3 days of Zelensky not being dead, I was like, there might be hope left in this world. There might be like, and honestly, you know, we'll get to the State of the Union, but all of a sudden it does feel like we're not like the forces of good are not on their back feet anymore. They're actually like advancing. They're fighting forward, and they're holding up against the powers of evil. And I just want to say this one last thing about Ukraine. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there who are saying, well, look at how racist the Ukrainians are. They're not letting Africans out. Have you been seeing?
Yeah, but I've heard I was talking to someone about it, and apparently, like, when it comes to a situation of war, there's a sequential order and discussions with other countries of citizens that are in those countries, and it's typically women and children first, and then citizens of that country, while that country is talking to other countries to be like, hi, we have your citizens here.
Sure.
So from what I'm understanding is, outside of the racist stuff, probably like, you know, physical violence or whatever, but like the actual sequential order of why they're not being out as fast is because of discussions with the countries they're supposed to go to.
And I think, you know, there's probably some truth in that, but you also see that there's a video of like,
no,
it's more of like on a train platform, not trying to get into another country, just trying to leave Kyiv. And Ukrainians were keeping a group of Africans,
like doctors, like medical students or something. Like
those are a lot of people. It's a lot of students who are in other countries studying, and I'm not, you know, but by no, I'm not even rationalizing it, but like, go ahead.
No, Ukraine like actually like made it a point to invite students from Africa to be medical students in there. So it's like, to me, I feel like they should be a bit of a priority with women and children. To me, if that's a thing,
well, if they're women and children,
but also like, you know, I couldn't imagine if I was like studying abroad somewhere, and then it was like, oh, sorry, you're like last on the list to get out, or to even talk about it. But also, like, no, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. What was your?
But the point overall that I want to make is, you know, because I was also hearing, you know, the Ukrainian state, while having protections for queer people, it is still a very homophobic society, and like this is real stuff. But it's, you know, it's a democracy in the throes of change. One, but two, there is a group. There's an LGBT militia in Ukraine that you can support. I'll find that before the end of the show. And they are fighting alongside Ukrainian forces because Russia will kill them for being gay.
Of course.
Russia has a lot of their leaders on a list to round up and kill, that they're on the kill list, you know? And so like there has to be some sort of step back. It's not like all injustice is bad, but still injustice is relative in a lot of ways. Well, Russia is worse than the Ukrainian marginalization.
You're gonna run into homophobia, racism, bigotry everywhere you fucking go. And the thing is that I've seen a lot of, because, you know, I watched The View, and like Sunny Housen is really big about you know, the racism that's happening over there. And I'm like, literally the thing that we talked about last week in Indiana passed. The no trans kids playing sports passed. We have, like, there has been an open assault on voting rights in this country, which is literally focused towards people of color. So I'm like, those folks are at fucking war. So let's focus on that. I hate to say let's focus on that main juncture, especially since our hands are really dirty on our own property.
Yeah, our hands are super dirty on this property. And I do hope, that, I just hope things get better. I hope this is a show of why Western quote unquote values do matter, because there are Western, like pro democracy, just pro the open progressive march of the world is better than, one man's authoritarian version of how the way things are supposed to be, because that's how the way things always were,
Isn't it
and that's
kind
just
of
the Putin.
Yeah, but isn't it kind of like wild to see like what just true patriotism looks like? Like it's just wild to be like these people are, I mean, they love their fucking country. Like that's and we're taught to be like, yes, you love your country, but you got to love the freedom so you can criticize it. And I'm like, yeah, and with all due respect, our government deserves criticism, but it's like you see that and you're like, oh, huh.
There is something to be said about that. And I think, Americans, I don't think will ever have the same type of nationalism and patriotism, because our roots don't go back 1,200 years into this place. Like they're like, Ukrainians families have tended the same soil that they've been tending for a millennia, and like that's just a different type of thing. And we stole all of our land, and then we continue to knock down things, poison the soil, put up a car park, and just fucking and shop at the mall adjacent. And that is like why we don't really, I think, won't have the same type of
we put trees in the malls. But
I was also thinking that with there's a lot of criticism on Biden from the right and the left.
So is the State of the Union strong, Casey Lai?
I think that it felt better to listen to that speech this week than it would have 10 days ago, oddly enough.
I mean, and just to hear a State of the Union that's like coherent and
a little tottering at points, but yes.
Well, he had that cough. That the poor man always can't seem to get a certain cough out. It always comes because he's old and he tries to get all up in his fucking delivery, and then he's like, oh, wait, oxygen, and so he had a little cough moment. He had some did you see that?
Yeah.
I just can't not do this.
Yeah.
But overall, listen, he was in a room full of fucking old children. He worked so hard to reach out and to relate and to talk and see if these fucking conservatives are listening. And honestly, I think the only one who was listening, because he looked super nervous, was Mitch McConnell. I feel like Mitch McConnell thought that Joe Biden did a good job at the State of the Union.
Mitt Romney too, actually, I'm not going to lie. I thought he did a really good job too. And I think the thing that is really annoying to me, and I hope to God that, or whatever, I hope to whatever, that there is some sort of some region of Mitch's black heart that still pumps blood. And this goes to patriotism and nationalism too. It's like the forces of evil are on the march. And I'm not saying America is a force of good, but it's still better than Putin. And what Putin really wanted to do, I believe, was take Ukraine and then start to push into NATO regions and really fuck everything up. I just feel like I would hope that Mitch and maybe Mitt and some other people there are like, maybe we should try and support a little bit, just try not to just try and tear everything down all the time. Because if we keep doing that and we bring back Trump, because all the tearing down is going to do is bring back Trump. And I would like to believe that Mitch is smart enough to be like, we can't have Trump in charge while Putin is still doing what he's doing right now. And so
terrifying. That's a terrifying idea. And the fact that Trump is out talking more, saying things more, agreeing to interviews more, and trying to paint this narrative. I just hate how quickly Americans forget. I know that we wanted to rush through the 4 years of Trump, and it seems slow as fuck. So why are we all forgetting that he was a moron, like
a monster,
literally,
and a moron?
Was trying to work very hard to become the first U.S. dictator. So his daddy, who never loved him, would finally be proud of him. Well, honey, the Alzheimer's took any memory of you before he died. So,
meow. Yeah.
Mary's book.
You love that. I love that.
I read Mary Trump's book. I was like, I'm getting it on Audible. Talk to me, Mary.
Tell me, Mary. How many hours was her book?
I don't recall. I think it was like 10, maybe.
10, and that's
I don't know.
I mean, she's only trying to cover the presidency, not the entire negative history of the United States.
She was just like, here's why my uncle sucks. And it's like, yeah.
And he does suck so fucking bad. And I just hope, apart from, the State of the Union, like the Ukrainian part was only a part of it. And I wish he had. It
was so performative and I hated it. Honestly, that was the part that I did hate the most, because it's like all of this like flowery words. Here's the ambassador, blah, blah, blah. We're never going to go on the ground. We're never going to fight with Russia. And I was like, why do you end it like that? We all know what you're going to do. But we, at this point. And here's the thing too, because we were texting a little back and forth during it, during the State of the Union, how Boebert fucking heckles him about his dead son with cancer, yells, build the wall, fucking booed because of the tax cuts. Biden should have been like, y'all are Russian sympathizers.
That's what I wanted him to say as well. I did want. I wish he's all about unity, and he never really takes a chance to twist the knife. And he really was a perfect opportunity to be like, look, this is what alliances do. Instead of being the biggest douchebag on the world stage and fucking telling everyone that they can suck their dick, what if you instead said, we need to work together to figure out this crisis that's unfolding and going to affect all of us. And people are a lot more eager to do the things when when there is a crisis upon you, and people are like, let's work together. And so fuck Trump. And I wish he had been that. I wish he had said, Trump, I just want to say before the State of the Union is solid and you can lick my old dirty balls.
Yeah, much older than yours. My balls are much older than yours. They're so much older than yours.
The dust, they smell like soil, the soil of the land of our fathers here in America.
And you just look at like the still shots or whatever of like Marjorie and Lauren together, and there's this meme going around that I saw with them on top and then fucking two hyenas down below them, and it's just like who let these stupid people in? Like these two people are so stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what their job is even. Marjorie's going on fucking Alex Jones's show. She's fucking talking to a group of white nationalists just because she doesn't care who they are. She wants them to hear her message. It's like, what's your fucking message, you dumb, decisive bitch?
Yeah. I mean, I agreed. And that Nick Fuentes guy, the person whose white nationalist platform she spoke at, I watched a couple of videos just to see, because I had never heard of him before. I mean, he was like, my speech is going to be the most racist, the most misogynistic, the most, and it's all like both. And then he walks with all of his loser fucking douchebags, and they're all like 20-something losers. They are losers. They are the kids that you ignored in high school. You didn't even beat them up because they were fucking too, now they should be beat up, but they're just like pathetic losers who feel strong in a group, and then they get, and Marjorie, the problem with what Marjorie did, she can, I don't care, go and fucking talk to whoever you want, but be sure to get the criticism. The problem is it raises them up. Now I know who they are, now, and more people know who they are because Marjorie goes and fucking talks to them. So no matter what she says of like, I'm not influencing, I'll talk to anyone. No, you're raising the platform of people who are white nationalist.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
for lack of a better term, white.
Yeah, you're emboldening every Proud Boy across the country with every, and the fact that there's no admonishment, and the fact that there's no admonishment from the Republican side on Trump's talking so sweetly about Putin and being like he's a genius and how smart of him to do what he did and how he did it. And honestly, it wasn't smart. The moment he saw Biden releasing every move that he was going to make, like, hey, sure think he's going to be doing this, like, and that was the thing. Like,
I mean, he even called them smart at CPAC after things were going bad. I mean, let him keep talking about it. Let him keep talking about it. Let him keep calling Putin smart. The more that they're pro-Putin, the better it's going to be in 2022 and 2024.
We just have to wake up these moderates, though. We have to wake up these middle of the roaders, because I don't, you know,
if gas goes down, they'll come back.
The thing, because, you know, when Biden is spelling out, like, you know, economic successes, the way he did, it's like, and America first, like, made in America. Like, the Republicans can't clap about that. That's what you want. Isn't the whole thing bring jobs back? No, because all your fucking companies are out there because you like slave labor wherever you can get it.
They love slave labor.
Well, we are down to our last 2 minutes. Do you want to really talk real quick about how gay the West was? Or
sure. Well, it's the Oscars this weekend, so we can.
So Sam Elliott from Tombstone was
Tombstone, Big
and
Lebowski.
the ranch, that Netflix show with alleged rapist.
He's the guy with the voice and the mustache. We all know.
Yeah, the voice and the mustache. Someone who I thought, like, you know, for some reason, I thought maybe this cool guy wasn't a homophobe, but he was on Mark Maron's podcast recently, and he came out against a movie. What was the movie called?
Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog,
which is a gay ass movie.
And said, "Oh, okay, so it is a gay ass movie."
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it is a sad, weird movie with a strong homosexual overtone.
Well, Sam says no gay in the West. He said that there's no gays in the West. It's not a homosexual thing. So what do you think?
It was weird. I mean, the movie, I don't know the movie. It took me 3 times to watch the movie because I kept falling asleep, because it's one of those like real slow burns, and then there's a real big good twist at the end, which you love. But it is like, you know, you gotta, if you like,
is the twist anal? Because that's how I want my twists.
It leads. It's anal. It's anal-ish. It's anal-ish.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like anal-ish.
But there's death in the end.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. Yeah. Humans, right?
Death by anal.
Aha! I've been there.
In a way. Yeah.
Been laid up by anal.
Things have been destroyed by anal. I don't know if technically a death.
Well, and also apparently this girl, I'm so sorry. The director of the film is
Jane Campion,
from New Zealand,
legendary,
right?
Yeah, she directed The Piano,
right,
30 years ago.
And Sam was very like, you know, I think she's great until she made this crap.
I love that she made real straight movies before, like The Piano.
Well, he was like, what would she know about the American West? Is basically his approach to that. Was like, what would she have known? And my thing is what I know is that when you have vast wilderness or open land and 5 guys chilling around for months, a dick is gonna go in a mouth. I'm just saying. All right, It was gay.
Yeah. Probably not in the butt, because there's no douching out there, probably. So
they fucked in butts there. You know what? They fucked in butts there. There was moments. I mean, I saw Brokeback Mountain. They butt fucked.
Yeah,
there was butt fucking.
I feel like after that first time, they were like uncomfortable. They didn't do it again. Yeah, I remember it, and we all, every gay man everywhere was like, "Yikes!"
In there.
Yikes.
Oh, we've come to the end of the show. Casey, do you want to tell people where they can find you on social media?
In Montana. You can find me on social media, Instagram, Casey Ley, Twitter, Casey WLEY, Venmo, Casey-Ley.
My God. You have to work on that.
You can see me.
Change them all to the Casey Ley. That's it. Change them all to that before anyone else does, and just leave it at that.
Don't tell me what to do. And I'll be in Sacramento at the Punchline the weekend of March 18th and at Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco on Sunday to March 20th. So, and I'll be at this Sunday at Akbar with the Putter Boss show, the 6th, doing some comedy with some of my besties. So come on down to those things if you wish. And if not, listen to whatever Tony's doing.
Y'all, if you like the Gay Power Half Hour, please go and find our iTunes page and subscribe to it. Rate the show, leave a comment. It helps. It boosts us up, apparently. So come on, guys, boost us up. Also, tune into the Tony Soto Show every week. This week, I interview the writer, director of the new movie on Paramount Plus called 3 Months, starring Troye Sivan. Jared Frieder is on the show, so tune into that. It was a really, really fun interview. I am the Tony Soto Show on everything.
Ever.
That's Instagram, Twitter, and Venmo. Very easily accessible. So please support me. I do other stuff. Come out to Learn the Words, Bitch at Akbar on the 7th if you don't go out on the 6th. Or if you do, make it a twofer. Come out and see Learn the Words, Bitch. Sign up at 8:30, showtime at 9 with guest judges Marta Bichu and Godoy. The WeHo bitches are coming to Silver Lake. All right. See you next week. Bye.